Okay, people, now I would like to invite Priya on stage. Priya, may I request you to please come here?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Priya, and I feel like there were more people that were more qualified to give this speech tonight, but here we are. I'm still really, really nervous, but there's a lot of power that I'm holding in this speech. But don't worry, I won't tell them how you cried because I didn't want to be your friend. We first met in kindergarten. We were 5 years old. I don't really remember a lot about the first time we met. I just know that we didn't like each other a lot throughout primary school. And just my luck, he was almost in all of my classes. One memory I'm still annoyed about is how you got me in trouble because you were talking and I just responded or answered a question. Everything growing up was a competition between us, from spelling to maths, who took the most notes in class, and even our height. That's the only thing that he won against me, that he's taller. I remember specifically in year 6, you came back from school holidays and you said, Priya, I have to show you something. And he's like, look, I'm taller. He had a 2-centimeter growth spurt and he was really, really proud. We've gone through life as frenemies, but I'll honestly say that you're one of the most supportive friends that I've ever had. And I'm really grateful to be here to celebrate you guys. I met SHREYA after COVID 3-ish years ago. And since then, I have found you to be just as supportive and kind and loving as KARTIK has been to me. And I'm very, very grateful for you. You're beautiful, adventurous, bubbly, emotional, and the right types of crazy. That's probably why we get along. My friends still talk about how you stole Chanel shoes at our wedding, or when you picked up somebody's keys and started dancing with them and demanded money. And to join in the fun and the craziness here has been an absolute honor. So thank you. I hope and pray that your marriage continues to be filled with as much rang and masti as the past couple of days have been. May you both continue to cherish each other, make all the little moments count, and take every step of this journey together knowing that you are loved and supported by each other, by everyone here, and everyone back at home. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hello. For those of you who don't know us, we're Rashi and Ardash, or as SHREYA likes to call us, Rashiness.
And Rainbow Ram.
And we're SHREYA's friends all the way back home in Brisbane.
I still remember SHREYA telling us all about her grand wedding when we were about like 12 or 13 years old. I remember she saying that there were going to be fireworks, there were going to be elephants, there were going to be dances, there was going to be food, it was going to be a whole thing. We may not have got the elephants, but this wedding has delivered beyond what we could have even imagined back then.
It was about 9 years ago, both of us stood in front of SHREYA at her 21st making speeches. So it feels surreal to be standing here on her wedding day.
Not much has changed since then. SHREYA is still the life of every party, as you guys have all seen for the last few days. She even cut her foot today, partying too hard.
She constantly makes us laugh.
She constantly annoys us with her stories that end up going nowhere.
She constantly confuses everyone when she says no in her best Australian accent and then quickly pivots to her Indian no.
She constantly pushes us out of our comfort zones.
Always with a super loving, super sweet Ardash. She constantly and consistently is our SHREYA. But the one main change that's come into SHREYA's life is why we're all here in Udaipur today, and to KARTIK.
When SHREYA first told me about KARTIK, I got a sense that he might be, something a bit different, something special. KARTIK is Fiji Indian, like myself, so I knew we were going to get along amazingly after that. He also loves cricket. He loves Indian cricket, so that didn't hurt either. But to tell you the truth, there was something different in the way SHREYA spoke about him. How kind he was, how relaxed he was, and how relaxed she felt around him. I finally got to meet Shreya and Kartik a few years ago when they're together, and all my thoughts about them both were confirmed. I think that what makes Kartik so perfect for Shreya is his steady nature. That calmness is such a perfect foil for Shreya's crazy energy, that I knew that one day we would be here for this amazing wedding.
Long before Kartik came into the picture, Shreya and I did multiple romantic trips together across Europe, screaming at the top of our lungs watching The Weeknd, downing 1-liter buckets of sangria, inhaling crepes, and staying up till 2 a.m. in our various rooms, whether it was in the UK, Spain, Germany, France, sitting in our PJs eating snacks and talking about anything and everything. We traveled for 3 weeks straight together, 24/7. So I felt like I got a pretty good idea of what it would take to be Shreya's partner in crime. And I remember the first time I heard about Kartik, and he sounded kind of perfect for Shreya. But the moment I was really sold was when I visited them in Sydney for the first time. Shreya came to pick me up, and it was early in the morning, and we sat there together and started talking each other's ears off, and Kartik brought us chai. And I remember thinking, ye kitna acha pati hoga.
And now look at how far we've come, all the way to India for this amazing wedding. Shreya has been a constant person in my life for the last 15 years. What I love about her is that she never changes herself for anyone. She is always true to herself. She isn't afraid to call you out at the same time, but she'll have your back no matter what. I think that's a really hard thing to find these days, and it's why I cherish our friendship so dearly. It makes me so happy to see how Shreya has thrived since meeting Kartik, which I think is a testament to the bond that you both have. We feel very grateful to play a small part in celebrating this amazing partnership now and into the future.
Recently, leading up to what has undoubtedly been the wedding of the year, I've been reflecting a lot on Shreya and my's friendship. And I remembered how in high school I'd watch random Indian wedding dance videos, as you do, and I would imagine Shreya and I up here dancing to that remix or that song, and how Ye Jawani Hai Diwani came out in 2013 as we were graduating high school. And I remember watching that Udaipur wedding and thinking, that'll be Shreya and I one day. And of course, she delivered. 11 years later, we're here in Udaipur at a perfectly planned wedding week. Yesterday, I was sitting with her as she was getting ready for her haldi, and I just remembered teenage Rashi and Shreya sitting in Chapel Hill together, getting ready for parties and govas, and I couldn't help but think how far we've come. The fact that we're actually here now is just such a beautiful thing, and to see her and how happy she is with Kartik is just even more beautiful.
Even though we all live in different cities, all the way from Sydney to Melbourne and London, we will always celebrate your wins and cherish the time that we get to spend together, including the rest of tonight.
So here's to Mr. and Mrs. Singh. Lots of love, Rashiness,
And Rainbow Ram.